Hey, how's it going? Preps here and welcome back to another Marvel Strike Force video. So I've just about completed building my teams for Dark Dimension 6. I've just got one legendary left and it's actually the hardest choice I've had to make in regards to what character I wanted to invest all of those resources into. Because if you've seen any of my videos, you'd know I like to prepare and build for the future. So in this video, I'm going to go over my thought process and why, as you could probably tell by the thumbnail, I decided to take Phoenix over Nova. But before we start, if you enjoy the content, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content. Alright, with all that said, let's get into it. Okay, so when it comes to choosing characters for the legendary section of Dark Dimension 6, I think there are some no-brainers. Old Man Logan, Black Cat and Green Goblin Classic are all amazing characters, and as they're the three newest legendary characters, they're probably going to hold value for a little bit longer. For the last two slots, I think good options would be Nova, Rogue, Omega Red, Phoenix or Doc Ock. And although Doc Ock is a little expensive, I think his synergy with Green Goblin Classic, as well as the Superior 6 being a really good team in general, makes him a solid option, and he was my fourth pick. Now, up until a few weeks ago, I was set that I was going to take Nova as the fifth character, but then a few things happened and I made the decision that I was going to take Phoenix instead. Firstly, I used Old Man Logan in the unrestricted section of DD6 and saw how insane he is in Dark Dimension. And I realized that it didn't really matter what other legendary I took in, as he's just going to carry the nodes by himself. Then I remembered that Phoenix had recently received a bit of a rework, so I decided to have a look at her kit to see if she had any synergy with X-Men characters in general, and it turns out she does. Her special heals all X-Men for 25% of her max health. Her ultimate, when T4'd, clears all negative effects from X-Men allies, and her passive, if T4'd, gives defense up to X-Men allies on spawn, 15% damage and 15% health. And as Old Man Logan has inherently high health and damage stats, those are pretty big buffs for him. Now, don't get me wrong, Nova has a decent kit and he's a pretty good character, but one thing I've realized leveling up this fast since the progression changes is just how important yellow and red stars are on a character. So although Nova has way higher stats than Phoenix when both characters are maxed out, let's have a closer look at the stars a new player will most likely have on both of these characters, and how it makes a pretty significant impact on their stats overall. So to get 7 stars on Phoenix, you need Mystic Controller characters at 7 stars, and even though I've progressed pretty fast, I've just managed to get 5 Mystic Controllers to 7 stars, and those characters were Loki, Sylvie, Morgan Le Fay, Doctor Doom and Hela. Other options that are pretty easy to farm would be Cersei, Scarlet Witch or Mr. Negative. On the other hand, to get 7 stars on Nova, you need to invest heavily into Masters of Evil and other characters that newer players just won't have the resources for. With the characters that I do have invested into, I was just able to get a 4-star Nova. So when we compare the stats of a 7 red star Phoenix and a 4 red star Nova, we can see that not only do their stats even out, but Phoenix actually has more stats in most areas. I understand that stats aren't everything, but they are important, and even though I was able to get a 4-star Nova, I would still have to invest more Dark promotion credits into him to get the 4th red star. And I think that saving my Dark promos for a character like Old Man Logan will be far more beneficial. Also, if I wanted to invest in Nova, I would have to burn through a lot of my tempered osmium that I'd much rather be using on either Iron Man Infinity War or Morgan Le Fay. I already used a lot of osmium building up Gambit and Nightcrawler for the global section. Secondly, Nova's a bio character and I want to make sure I have enough bio gear to take Super Skrull into my second run of DD6, as the cosmic section has definitely been the most painful. Lastly, I like to prep for the future, and with the announcement that Professor X is coming to the game, I'd like to think that Phoenix might just have a resurgence. Well, that just about does it for today's video, but what do you think? Is Phoenix a good choice, or should I have just followed the meta and gone with Nova? Let me know in the comments down below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps the channel out. As always, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.